As the Pierce County sits on the ancestral lands of the Puyallup, Muckleshoot, Nisqually, and Squaxin Island Tribes, who reside, have lands, or have treaty-protected rights to water and other resources in Pierce County. And whereas exercising treaty rights and practicing cultural practices are the integral to strengthen the deep connections to our Native peoples, to their traditional territory, with tribes continuing to be the environmental stewards by protecting and enhancing fisheries, habitat restoration, and other conservation efforts. And whereas Pierce County recognized tribal sovereignty and the unique differences and cultural identities of each tribe, Pierce County is committed to respecting each tribe's sovereignty, their treaty rights, and working government to government with tribal leadership for the benefit of our region and the presentation of our shared environment. And whereas tribes continue to provide community and economic boon for our state and region by adding billions to the state economy, generating millions in state and local taxes, and contributing millions in local charitable contributions. And whereas Native peoples contribute to the rich history and culture of the United States, including the Puget Sound region, and continue to practice their cultures, their traditions, and languages through activities like annual canoe journey, powwows, and cultural practices. And whereas Pierce County acknowledges and celebrates the important and immeasurable contributions made by our tribes, which make our state and Pierce County better and stronger, while recognizing the historical injustices perpetuated by the U.S. government. These include forcing children into boarding schools for the purpose of erasing Native languages and cultures and forcing removal from their ancestral lands. And also by breaking some of the treaties that promise to protect their treaty rights and homelands. And whereas Pierce County Council and the executive commit to uplifting the voices and stories of Native communities and continually strive to work towards true government-to-government partnerships. This begins by standing shoulder to shoulder with tribes to face the challenges of today, including but not limited to missing and murdered Indigenous women and people and human trafficking. And whereas it's wholly fitting to honor and celebrate Native peoples during the same month as Veterans, recognizing that many Native Americans and Alaska Natives have served honorably with distinction in the U.S. Armed Forces at 5 times the national average and have fought in every conflict since the American Revolution. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed on this 28th day of October 2025 by the Pierce County Council and Executive that November 2025 is recognized as Native American Alaskan Native Heritage Month. And all community members are encouraged to honor, celebrate, and learn more about our tribe's histories, traditions, customs, and way of life. Thank you.
Give them a hand. Councilmember.
Nisqually, Heshaba, Hatsalahale, Ceab, Deishad, Annette Bryan Seatsta, Spialapobs Chud, Sharon Nelson T. Squoy, Les Nelson Steve Bob. Good day, honorable relatives and friends. My name is Annette Bryan, and I'm a member of the Puyallup tribe, and I'm the daughter of Les and Sharon Nelson. And I want to thank you today for inviting us to accept this proclamation. When I was here last year, we talked about the flag in the county chambers, and I was told today we're able to bring that flag. And so I want to just raise my hands to you in appreciation for that, for hearing the request, discussing the request, and approving the request. We are, as you said, all unique, all of us tribes, so I appreciate that. You know, you're talking about when you're dealing with each tribe, we're a sovereign nation. We all have our own governments. We all have our own policies, rules, laws, regulations, just like any other government. And we all have our unique history and our unique cultural practices. While they can look the same from the outside, they are very unique to each tribe. And I also wanted to just say from my heart that I appreciate this relationship that we have, because we were here. We were always here. We're on our ancestral homeland. We're on old village sites right now. But right now, we're all here together. And we have the Salish Sea we have to protect. We have the groundwater. We have the earth. We have all living things that are, slowly being eradicated by human practices. And so we all have to work together to fight for the fish and fight for the four-legged and fight for the trees. And we can only do that when we stand together and share that common goal of keeping our people healthy, keeping our people safe. We also have joined areas where we have our own law enforcement and you have your own law enforcement, and we all have to work together to make sure people are safe. And then you talked about the economy. We've been doing a really good job, I think, working with the Port of Tacoma and other governmental entities to try to make huge strides in repairing some damages that were done in the past so that we can move forward in the future and to the future for our future generations. So that's all I really wanted to say today, is that I just appreciate us working together. And I think we can go a lot farther together with our common shared visions. We won't always agree on everything, and there will be some visions that we have that are unique, but where we can work together on the shared visions, I think we can go a lot farther than being separate.
Thank you. Any of the other guests?
I'll just show you this, and then other people can speak.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'll hand it off to Andrew, and also thank you for his position. I think it's really important to have a tribal liaison at a county that does have so many interactions with different tribes.
Thank you.
Are you going to make me go next? Oh, you're going to stand with me too, Annette? Good morning. My name's Bettina Giese, granddaughter of Chief Robert Satayacum, daughter of Vicky Satayacum, my mom. Hi, Mom. And I'm a proud member of the Puyallup Tribe of Indians and a business owner. This is my second time having the honor of speaking with you. And I want to start by saying thank you for inviting me back. Thank you, Paul. My family owns and operates Thunderbird Trading Post, a business that's been standing for 50 years. We're having our 50th anniversary on November 11th. Just so you know, we're going to have a whole bunch of stuff going on that day. Over the decades, it's grown from a small convenience store into a restaurant, a bar, and a cigar lounge, a place that has provided jobs, community, and consistency through every season. And like any long-standing business, we've learned one thing: no business survives without the community behind it. Over these 50 years, Thunderbird alone has employed hundreds of people, but it's more than that, it's family. I was pretty much born and raised at Thunderbird. I've seen customers grow up right alongside me, people who came in as kids now bringing in their own children, even some grandkids. The faces have changed, but the connection hasn't. It's a living reminder of how deeply our businesses are rooted in this community. When people think of the Puyallup tribe, they often think of our culture, our salmon, our strength, but they don't always see the economic powerhouse behind it. The Puyallup tribe is consistently ranked among the top employers in Pierce County, providing thousands of jobs through our enterprises and partnerships. Through Puyallup Tribal Enterprises, we've built a diverse network, from our marina, golf course, and fuel stations to our construction, logistics, and hospitality divisions. And of course, we have our Emerald Queen casinos, which employ thousands of people between Tacoma and 5 locations, making them one of the largest employers in the region. These jobs just don't serve the tribe, they support the entire South Sound economy, reaching into restaurants, hotels, tourism, and small local vendors. Beyond our major enterprises, there are so many individually owned tribal businesses contributing every day. Places like Reservation Outpost, BJ's Bingo, and War Pony, just to name a few. Each one adds to the heartbeat of the local commerce, providing opportunity and pride for our people. Together, these businesses create a ripple effect: jobs, partnerships, training, and investment that stay right here in the community. And we're not stopping there. One of our newest ventures is the Rainier cigarettes, developed by Puyallup tribal business owners with the tribe's support as a way to keep innovation and opportunity rooted in our own community. The goal was simple: to create a quality product that keeps dollars in our community and helps adult consumers save money without being priced out by rising tobacco costs. It's a reminder that we're not just maintaining a tradition, we're building innovation, self-sufficiency, and sovereignty through smart business. At Thunderbird, we're proud to carry Rainier cigarettes and to be a part of the new chapter of the tribal enterprise. The victories of the Puyallup Nation aren't only about revenue or jobs. They're about reinvestment. The tribe gives back millions every year to local charities, education programs, and social services. I'm not exactly sure of the numbers, but I just get this off online because I'm not council, so let's hope that I'm pretty sure it's more than this. Since 2012, the Puyallup Tribes Charity Trust Board alone has donated over $18 million to more than 100 nonprofits in Washington. That's what makes our economy different. Our success lifts the entire community, Native and non-Native alike. So today, as we celebrate the Native American Heritage Month for November, I want to honor the business victories of the Puyallup Nation, from casinos to convenience stores, from fuel stations to Rainier cigarettes, from family businesses like Thunderbird Trading Post to new ventures yet to come. Each one tells a story of resilience, opportunity, and pride. We're not just surviving history, we're shaping the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I had to write some thoughts down because I get in front of the crowd and I'm like, oh, what am I going to say? Get this open there. Bonjour, addition to cause. My name is Jason LaFontaine. I'm an enrolled member of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa, which is a tribe located in Belcourt, North Dakota. I am the son of Robert LaFontaine and the grandson of Henry LaFontaine and Genevieve Blue, who, when she passed away 2 years ago, was the oldest living member of our tribe at 102 years young. They came to Seattle in about 1955 during the relocation time, when the government was trying to get Native people to leave the reservations and get off of having to spend money on them. It was a way of them to get them off of the government dime. And so they promoted sending it to Chicago or New York, Seattle or Denver. And my family chose Seattle instead of Denver, which I always am grateful for because I really don't like the Denver Broncos. I like the Seahawks. So I'm glad we chose here. So we've been here since 1955, the LaFontaine family. I'm the director of the Indian Education Program for the Puget Sound Educational Service District, and we work as I oversee the Native American programming in 4 school districts here in Pierce County. So I'm in Peninsula School District, Franklin Pierce School District, myself and my staff are in the Peninsula School District, Franklin Pierce School District, Sumner Bonnie Lake School District, and the University Place School District. And in that group, there's about 45,000 students combined in all 4 of those districts, and we have about 550 American Indian students in our program that we serve. Also, of course, there's many colleagues of mine in the other districts here who are solo, like Tacoma, Fife, Puyallup, and Bethel. I have their own Native Ed programs, and my colleagues that we work with closely sometimes. Of those 550 students in our Native American program, K through 12, there's about 90 different tribes represented from Alaska all around the United States that we serve. Of course, several Puyallup students that we work with. Council member Bean is a parent of mine in the Peninsula School District. Have lots of Satayakans that we work with in University Place. So all kinds of Native students that we work with. The highlight of our program, of course, is the relationship building that we have with our students. Our staff, we want to really make sure we know our students, so it's not just a name on a piece of paper. We know the students, we know the personalities, we know how much they might know about their tribe and their culture and how much they might not know about it, and we work together with them to kind of raise that awareness up. We provide cultural support, history discussions, both contemporary and historical, family nights. We do place-based field trips, cultural opportunities, leadership activities with students from all the different school districts together. And we have opportunities to learn from other Native elders and cultural experts throughout the school year. Our staff typically are the only Native educator that most of our students will ever work with in their K-12 education. There's not that many Native classroom teachers and not very many of us Native ed coordinators who work out there. And I was looking at some data from a couple years ago, and it said about 90% of the United States stopped teaching Indian education in about the year 1890, right, at the end of the Indian Wars. So that's about 135 years of Native history and culture that has happened that most students don't get to learn about. One of my students in University Place mentioned to her friend that she was Native American, and her friend said, "Native Americans still exist. I thought you were extinct like the dinosaurs." And I was like, what? So clearly we still have a lot of work to do in our schools. Fortunately, here in the state of Washington, we have the Since Time Immemorial curriculum that helps support that. And in Pierce County, all of our districts work with the Puyallup tribe doing tribal consultation, primarily with Patricia Conway at the tribe. And so I'd say a couple of years ago, I met Robin out in Peninsula because we were renaming one of the parks out there, and the school district was naming a new school. They wanted to work with the tribe to come up with the name, so it's called Swiftwater Elementary. And so I was grateful to meet her, and I just met her assistant, Nicole, a little while ago, and she mentioned to me that her daughter was, she mentioned her daughter's name, and her daughter, I didn't realize, but her daughter's one of my students that I work with, so it's kind of just that small world connection. So I just wanted to say I appreciate the county's support in acknowledging our Native community, both Puyallup and all the other tribes that have made this place their home, and I thank you for just encouraging the citizens of this county to learn more and more about Native people, because obviously there's a lot to still teach other people. So, Miigwech, thank you very much.
Thank you. Teddy? It's not required, but you're here.
That's okay. I just want to say I'm very grateful to be standing here in front of Pierce County Council, because I come from a day and age when we were not recognized at all as tribal members. We were almost not a tribe back when I was born and raised. And so I've come a long ways. I'm a Vietnam era veteran. That shows you how old I actually am, what years I'm talking about. And I just want to thank Pierce County Council for taking the time to appreciate the Native Americans and Alaskan Natives that are in this area, and that, whose land we walk on, and to stand behind us in all we do. And I just want to thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for your comments. I'm going to look to my colleagues to see if there are comments. Vice Chair Herrera.
Thank you, Chair. It's been an honor to bring this very important proclamation forward with other council members. And, I think I talked about this before, of how fortunate you are to just look out that window there and know that your ancestors paddled in that bay 500 years ago, whatever. You look at the mountain your ancestors looked at, the same mountain many years ago. People that come from different countries, they're Irish or something like that, they go back to Ireland, they kind of feel a sense of, oh, wow, this is where my people came from. Yours is right here. Your river is right here. And that must be a great feeling to have that foundation, those roots that go so deep here. And I've seen those roots, and they go deep. We talked a little bit about some of the injustices, but we talked mostly about today of the uplifting partnerships between governments, between people, and the economic, goodness for all. What's coming here in Pierce County. We also talked about the philanthropy. The 18 million or so, and we're going through a budget process right now, and we're looking to give money to nonprofits that need it, that help the community. And you do this on some of the things you've given to is things that we're looking to give to. So we see partnerships like Communities and Schools in Lakewood, Boys and Girls Club of Puget Sound, the AmVets you gave just as recently. What's another one? Sumner Food Bank you've given to Peninsula, Gig Harbor Peninsula Fish Food Bank, Linquist Dental. These are all names that we know too. And so we all looking to help that. We'll also look to the future as, you know, you're going to be like one of the first and only tribes that have a business in an international port, which will be a force multiplier. We're all looking for jobs. Even tribal members are looking for good paying jobs here in Pierce County. That is going to be a force multiplier for this community. And we look forward to and cheering the Puyallup tribe and all the different tribes because they bring everything, something different. We're cheering you on your diversity and how it helps everybody. One other thing I want to talk about is some of the other things that people may not know about, like the Cedar Wellness Center. That was a big lift and a huge thing. So for people who don't know what the Cedar Wellness Center is, a 12,000 square foot opioid treatment clinic, not just for Native Americans, but for non-natives also. You can come in, they take Medicaid and all these other things, and I think it's revolutionary. It's in our community here. I think it's kind of a really good, well, I think it should be shouted on top of the rooftops of that it's available and out there. And I just wanted to say thank you for that one. And for the other tribes, the Muckleshoot, Squaxin Island, they all have their own niche in this county, and we recognize all of them too. So thank you, Chair.
Thank you for your comments. We're going to go to Councilmember Yambe.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think Councilmember Vice Chair Herrera said it very eloquently, and I can't really add too much else. I will say that I've been immersed in a book, Fighting for the Puyallup Tribe by Ramona Bennett Bill. So if anyone else wants to read it, it's a very good book. Just came out. I do also wanted to say that our Native Indian education programs are probably some of the most incredible programs that we have, at least in the county for sure. Before I came here, I had volunteered in the 5-school district for the Native Indian education program for at least 10 years, working with Martha Sherman. And, Yep.
She retired, I brought her back to come work in summer.
Yep.
I pulled her right back in. So.
Yep. So, Rachel and Noteli and some of the great crowds there. And also who couldn't be here today was sent an invite out to the Native American Youth Leadership Academy. Nayla, who does incredible leadership training for Native youth, who are helping teach the next generation of leaders. And if you ever get a chance to look into their programming, it's something else. And I will just say that the charitable work of the Puyallup tribe, we could talk about the other tribes, but the charitable work of the Puyallup tribes extends even further than some people realize, from local government projects to local law enforcement to different essential services, and the Puyallup people, the generous people. You could have stopped and said, hey, we're going to take care of our own. We're going to be, we're going to, resurge and be the strongest that we can and compete with everyone else. But it's that you recognize that the rising tide lifts all boats, and that you take care of everyone. And so I think that work, people don't understand that, from hosting a little stand at Fife Harvest Festival to, a couple additional officers to help, look into public safety. And so those things go unnoticed. But they're very present in the community, and it's a symbol of the the hopefulness, the forward thinking, and the generosity that you all have. And, you know, despite everything, the history, that you bounce back, and it's even stronger than it was before. And so we're so grateful to have you as neighbors. We're so grateful to have you as partners. And as you alluded, that yes, that we don't always agree on everything, but we work together, we work through those things, and we take care of each other. And so, you know, that's a good reminder. So thank you, Councilmember Bean, for all the work. And Councilmember Bryan, your work from the Housing Authority and to all the years that you've devoted to the community and District 5 and beyond, and the tribe has not gone unnoticed and is greatly appreciated. And you are an incredible leader on the regional scene, and a person who I'm absolutely honored to be able to serve along with. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for your comments. We're going to go to Councilmember Ayala.
Thank you, Chair. Appreciate it. I want to take a note and kind of bring us back to a comment that Councilmember Herrera said around we are on the lands. These are where ancestors have been for years and years, and the immense and profound sense of history and belonging that comes with that. And so to contextualize that, we can't say that any one of us, unless we are part of a tribe or do have that ancestry, we don't necessarily have that same story. And so I just really want to acknowledge how important that is. I think the other piece, and I say this for a lot of our recognitions, especially when it comes to cultural practice and history, I do appreciate that this council is putting forward this, and also want to acknowledge that the work happens every day, and that without the work happening every day, we don't see that progress. So I'm looking forward to making sure that work is happening every day of the year, and that we continue to improve on this, and that we continue to retell these histories time and time again. Our youth and young folks are great echoers of what is happening, and they are future leaders. And so though we have certain curriculums to put forward, we also know that there are some missing pieces and some cracks in that foundation. So the more that we can just build upon what is already in existence, so we have that community that we so desire for ourselves and for each other. I would want us to prosper together. So thank you so much for being here, and looking forward to what we can do next month and the following month to improve our partnership. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. We're going to go Councilmember Kruger.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to recognize the perseverance that you have had all these years, because bad things happen to good people, and you had some really bad things happen. And to see the prosperity that has uplifted your community is kind of a shining light for others to be able to emulate and get into that mindset of how good things are happening. And it's very encouraging, and I just wanted to recognize that. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And I will just briefly conclude with gratitude. Thank you for taking the time to be here. Thank you for sharing your flag with us so that we can display it. We're hoping to gather the 4 flags from the 4 different tribes. We have 2 out of 4, so we're 50%. But really just appreciate the partnership, both in government-to-government relationships, and also the learning that we can do together so we can prosper, because we breathe the same air, we share the same waters, and we live on the same land. So working together is absolutely the only way to thrive together. So thank you.